Okay, hello. Welcome to the first meeting of the SJSU Gamedev Club. I've got a really short Google thing to show you guys. Just so if you're not sure what the club's about, I'll fill you in. So the first is the obvious question, what do we do? Well, we make games, as you've seen. On these computers, we've got a bunch of games set up. On the arcade cabinet there, we've got games. All of these games were made by students in the club. There's even a website, SJSUGamedev.com, and you can download any of these games and play them. So, when and where? Since you're here, I'm assuming that you managed to follow the directions, but for your notes again, here in Art 241, every Thursday at 7:15 p.m. Do we make games every meeting? Well, not entirely. Sometimes we play games. We call these game nights, and we'll have everyone playing like Minecraft or some random new Steam game. We've had people playing games that other people have made. And those are, different people show up to different meetings. Sometimes we have guest speakers. In the past we've had Jonathan Blow. He made Braid, if any of you guys have heard of that. We've had this guy from Cryptic Studios. They made Star Trek Online, and I think maybe City of Heroes. Yeah. And we've also had just guest talks from people who know cool technologies like Source, like the Source game engine, Maya, Blender, GameMaker, Unity. Did I put Flash on there? Because Flash should be on there too. We have people who know all these things, and we can have people come in and talk about them and teach you them if you don't know them and if you want to learn them. Anything else? Well, sometimes we go places. This last semester we went to GDC, that's the Worldwide Game Developers Conference in San Francisco, and the university paid for our tickets. So they're student tickets, they're $70. We all went for free. So as part of the club, if you show up to meetings, you could get those tickets paid for if you want to go, right? So here are some pictures a friend of mine took there. There's the Oculus Rift stuff. I'm sure you guys have heard of that. Nintendo's set up, and Intel, and all kinds of different game companies, and I think a lot of people got exclusive League of Legends characters. So if you guys are into that. We have the primary focus, I think, of the Gamedev Club is we've got these things called game challenges, where your brilliant leadership gets together and we decide on some challenge for people in the club to do to try and make a game to complete. Hey, John? Hey. So examples we've had in the past is the Juicy Challenge. The Juicy Challenge was a juicy game is a game that just feels good, feels responsive. When you hit something, it moves. When you hit something really hard, it breaks, and everything feels right. We've had the two-player challenge and the arcade challenge. Those were challenges we made to get people to make games for the arcade cabinets. So I'm sure you may have seen we have had art galleries in the past where those cabinets were all set up in a room and you could play games from game-making classes and from this club. We've had things like the Sequels to Non-Existent Games Challenge. So you take a game that doesn't exist, and then you don't make that game, you make the sequel. So we had like Battlefruit 2, and there was also the three-word phrase challenge where you take three parts of a sentence. I think it was like a verb, an adverb, and a noun. Just random people came up with random ones. We stuck them together in a group, and they had to make a game based around those three words turned into a sentence. So, for instance, one of the games you saw, Zeppelin Jump Funnily, was a game that was made for that challenge. There was also a group that had the name Lovely Shark Translate, and they unfortunately did not get their game done, but in the Sequels to Non-Existent Games Challenge later, people made Lovely Shark Translate 2, because the first game didn't exist, and it was a visual novel with sharks, and you can play it on one of these computers. So we have all sorts of fun ideas for challenges. There's a computer over there where you can put in your information if you want to get notifications about stuff about the club, and you can give a suggestion for a game challenge if you've got some neat idea that you'd want to do. So these game challenges, what we do is we put people together in groups. Okay, so we take people who are experienced at making games, be they programmers or artists or musicians, and we stick them together with newbies who want to learn, and so you can learn from people who already know how to make games, and we're not just throwing you out into the cold and saying, make a game. You're actually with people who have done it before. So, who's welcome? Anybody. We don't discriminate. You can be a freshman, never made a video game, never played a video game, never drawn a picture, written a song, written a script, or even touched a computer, and we can help you make your first game. And it could even be a cute computer game, right? You just have to want to do it. There are tools out there to do this, and they are free, and they're easy to use, and we can teach you. And if you know anybody else who's like that, who wants to learn to make games, please invite them to show up to another meeting. I was just throwing out random questions there. I don't think these directly address them. But so the idea about the club, new people come in. I think I went over this part. But yeah, we try and balance groups out so that they've got one of separate disciplines, so that you've got a guy who knows how to make music, who can make music. You've got a guy who knows how to program, who can program. And you can pick up any of those skills if you want to. So tools we've used. Primarily Game Maker, because that's so easy and you can make games with it for free. But we've also had people make stuff in Unity, in Scratch, Blender, Flash, Photoshop, C, WebGL, JavaScript. I account for a lot of those on the list, just because I felt like it. But we can find people to teach you guys how to make games in any of those if you want. So, that's the end of my short presentation. Here's the summary. New people can make games. We teach you. Time and place. Game challenges. There's our website. I keep pointing at my computer screen. What's up here? There's our website. You can type this in and it gives you information about the club. You can download any of the past games made. And there's a computer on the right there that you can put your name and stuff into if you want me to email that to you. Actually, is there any other club leadership here today? There is some. I'd like to invite the club leadership up to introduce themselves so you can know who we are in the future if you want to ask questions. So, first of all, I am Gavin. I am the president of the SJSU Gamedev Club.
I'm Risma. I'm the master of hosts.
Yo, my name's Bobby Ferguson. No, it's not. It's Antonio Jimenez, and I'm VP.
That's vice president.
I'm Arthur, and I'm graphic designer, but I like to program games.
I'm Pauline, and I am one of the graphic designers. I'm Christy, and I'm the secretary.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm graphic designer, also possibly a webmaster as well.
And hi, my name is Glenn Fan, and I'm a graphic designer, also a programmer and animator too.
I'm Daniel. I was one of the videographers. Not sure if I'm going to still do it, but he's the new one.
And I'm Angelica, your treasurer for this semester, and I don't have any, I'm not in a major that's either related to comp, sci, comp, E, animation, illustration, or any of that. I'm a comm major, but I really love video games, and I know how to handle money. So yeah.
And we've also got videographers up there who has failed to introduce himself.
Hi, well.
So that's the people. You can ask any of these guys for help on stuff. That's all I had to give you guys today. Feel free to hang out and socialize and get to know people and put your name on the computer if you want. And I'll be around to answer questions.
Music.
Okay.